Santa Claus real? We're answering that question today on this Woo Woo Wednesday. I'm Dr. Jane, joined by Devi Jade. Hey, Jade.
Hey.
What do you think? Is Santa Claus real?
It's actually what I know.
What do you know about Santa Claus? Oh, can I turn back into news reporter, my former self?
Yes.
Jade, what do you think about Santa Claus?
Well, I do know that yes, the elf is real.
Okay, that's it. Thanks for joining us on this Woo Woo Wednesday. We're done.
You
He's
said you were going to interview, so I was waiting for the next.
Jade said so we're finished.
That's right. Now,
Okay, so there is a historical accuracy. There is history there of an actual person on whom the jolly old elf is based, but you can go into that if you want to. But tell us, spiritually, the validity of Santa Claus.
okay, so this is one of those things where you can, it's your determination what you want to believe or not. I mean, he's an elf. He belongs to the realm of the Fae. Okay, and just like in the Lord of the Rings or some of these where they've got elves and they're different pantheons and different groups of people that lived here. Now, just like evolution, it's some people move on, they've not moved on, they're in a different realm. They're in the fairy realm, the Fae realm. And each of these groups have different things that they do. There's, we'll go into that a whole nother time, but we're getting back to Santa Claus. So he is an elf, and I didn't know, I thought, well, I do know he's real. I mean, we all have a little magical stories growing up, and we'll tell them those toward the end. But I get visions, and when I know that it's a true vision, I'm always at my grandmother's house, and that's how I know I'm getting a message. It's one of them, one of the ways. And so I don't remember why I was asking about this or whatever. I don't think I was asking if he was real. And I had a dream, a vision, a visionary dream. And my grandmother has this amazing oak tree that grows clear across her yard into the other people's yards, and it's all the way at the back. And out in the front yard was this taller, thinner elf. And I asked, and he had the plaid coat. So it does kind of match the historical stuff. It wasn't like, well, you dreamed that up, Jade. No, because this was very, very random. It wasn't like, oh, gee, I think I'm going to focus on this and wonder about it.
Right.
It was random. And he told me, and his beard was really long, and he had the staff, okay, and he had the hat that kind of came down. It's like rather like druidry, but he said, I am Saint Nicholas. So he is an elf. So let's say, okay, well, historically, then this guy was that, but how do we know that he was not part of that realm? Right? Anyway, he told me he's real, and I said, okay, that's it. Now I know he's real. Because I already knew before, but that just kind of gave me the little stamp of approval in my world and the people that come to me.
Absolutely.
So he is, and he actually is, and he's not a person that presents presents. He's there to assist you what you need in your path. And that's originally what he was doing. He assisting people and helping them to understand charity. Elves are over the earth. They take care of things. They're tall like people. Again, like Lord of the Rings.
Or like Buddy in the movie Elf.
No, not like that.
He's really tall.
Not like him. That's more like Elf on the Shelf.
I know. It's my husband's favorite Christmas movie. It's really funny. So when it comes to like the fat guy in the red suit and the big beard and the sleigh and the reindeer with the glowy nose and all, the chimney and all that, that's kind of a tradition that people play out. So is the spirit, the true spirit of Saint Nick, the big, tall, skinny elf, is that kind of just in line with giving love and frivolity?
Now here we're going to get into personal opinions, I guess, and the other one was vision. This is personal opinion. I happen to like him. We all know that was a branding for Coca-Cola or whatever. He's all cheery and everything, and That's great. I think originally, whether they were selling Coca-Cola, it was all about the happy, joyful, condition. And red is a really important color of Christmas because it is all about, giving, and it's about it was the ermine, so that's about royalty. So originally that's what it was. And then of course in other cultures when you're quite big, that is that you have wealth and prosperity, and because remember originally Lord Buddha was real thin, and as time's gone on he's gotten kind of bigger. He was just tall and thin, and then I don't think I said big, so tall and thin, and then he got larger as over the course of time mythically. And he was not that. He was pretty thin.
So what is the being hefty signifies?
Well,
Abundance,
prosperity, that you are fed well and you were well taken care of and everything is coming to you. Yeah, I think that's cool. What it is. I mean, most of us know that, I hope.
So the answer to our core question.
So I don't know.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
Okay. I interrupted.
So the answer to our core question is Santa Claus real? Is yes, absolutely. Not in this realm.
Now let's go to the reindeer really quick because no, I'm going to, because we're doing Santa with the reindeer.
I know. Okay. I'm just laughing at you, Jade. I call you a one-woman herd of cats. I never know where you're going to go next. So let's just go ahead.
So we know that it comes from Scandinavia. That's, I mean, they're taking like the history and pulling it in. But also I mentioned something about druidry. It had something to do that. And they're the caretakers of the trees and the earth. So what that original thing was is I'm the caretaker of the earth, and I will teach you how to be with nature, which is the four-leggeds. Okay, I will teach you how to be quiet in all that's white and that's quiet. I will teach you how to gather with your families and be very simple, and be charitable to one another. And it doesn't cost a lot to do that. Okay, that's really where I was going with that.
So it's kind of the same thing that we talked about on our last episode, giving gifts, that type of presence versus being present. It's really the spirit of the physical presence, the emotional being tapped in presence.
True. Yeah. And he's magical. He's teaching you too that, you don't need to have a lot on your back. There's tiny little amounts of things. Those sticks to me are a representation of I'm going to bring this to you and we'll light fire together. We'll sit down and we'll be able to eat together. We'll be able to share that warmth together. And fire, of course, is about focusing on the fire within and creating something. So there's a lot of metaphors.
Symbolism, yeah.
And the plaid coat and the coat that he wore, that to me is a representation of everything weaved together to make patterns.
So where I've never seen Santa in plaid.
Well, if you look at the older Scandinavia pictures, you'll see that he had like this coat that was just kind of plaid. That's the way he showed it to me. So that's the way I know it is. But it's about the weaving in and out of everybody's pattern fits together like a quilt, and everything is in the universe, as one when we put it together.
That's very cool. So if somebody right now really wants to live out the true spirit of Santa Claus, what would be their number one way other than that person to person loving, being quiet and being still and being together and tapping in? Other than that, what would be a way for someone to really embrace that spirit right now?
Well, I feel like that's really good because what we're talking about is, the solstice. And traditionally, the equinoxes and the solstices were really more than one day. It wasn't a 24-hour thing. It was actually a celebration of something to gather together. So this is a time that you can gather together. It's hearth, it's home, it's being together, it's laughing, it's having wassail if you want, singing. We all know how to sing. We can get out there and just be together. It's not necessarily about, he wasn't pulling gifts out of his sack. That came later. I think that might
So
have been.
glad you said sack. There was a there was a pause there. I was like, oh God, what is she gonna say?
No, she's worried. I'm all into spiritualness, and she thinks I'm going to come off with some thing. No,
I know you, Jade.
I don't know. Anyway, because I love the elves, and I feel like it's an opportunity to say, spend time in the solstice. It's a 24-hour fire ceremony. What does that mean? You just sit with that fire for 24 hours because it's to remind us that these fires are lit. Get what's called a Yule log if you can find it. People say, oh, I don't know if they do that. Well, just get candles again. Get nice, fat, white ones or gold ones and light them and just have like a little thing of them and not those fake ones. Okay. And then have the wassail or the wine and just the cheeses and just the things that you would be able to have in the winters, apples and things that you harvested, and share them. And yes, absolutely, go to somebody's house and sing off key or outside and whatever, those kinds of things. Absolutely, that's what's going to bring you that spirit of Christmas that that's so luscious. And the 24-hour thing is, it's a gratefulness ceremony of like, thank you, thank you, thank you for keeping us safe during these quiet winter times, and that we'll be able to make it through that winter when February comes. So it's just an honoring of the goddesses and the gods and all the elves in that realm.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Jade, for your insight and for sharing your vision of Santa Claus. And thanks to everyone who's joining us. If you've enjoyed this at all, if you'd like to wish us a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, then give us a thumbs up. That's all the happy holidays that I think we need right now. And make sure that you subscribe and hit the little bell so that you'll know the next time that a new Woo Woo Wednesday drops and other videos to help you live a life with lower stress and more success. See you next time.
See you next time, and happy holidays, I believe. Yes, I do.